My name is Toby, and today I wanted to read the lowest rated creepypasta on crappypasta.com. Now, crappypasta.com, at least in the past, used to remove a lot of stories that would later be called crappypastas because they were crappy. I mean, I'm talking Jeff the Killer fangirls, Smile Dog wannabes, Slenderman's daughters, telling their stories, and believe me, he seems to have quite a few. He should stop banging humans, probably. Now, today we won't be getting into any of that. I just wanted to read the lowest rated story on all of the website. This one has, I believe it's 1.23 out of 10 stars, so that's really low. It was written in 2012, so let's not send hate to the author, because who knows how they could have grown in all these years to come. I mean, we're talking, it's 2025, okay? They've had years to improve. They could have just been like a teenager writing this, and even if they were a teenager, it's probably better than what I can write. So I wanted to just do something to replicate or make in similar style to HoodoHoodlumsRevenge style of content regarding crappypastas, but without the crappypasta part, with like an actual pasta, just to read it and go over it, give you my live reaction. If you have any way to send support to the author, please do. This is all just in good fun. So without further ado, let's get into Dear Abby.
Dear Abby, we've never met before, so this may seem a bit odd, but I feel this is necessary. My name's Jay for starters. I work the checkout line at the grocery store up on 67th Street. You know, the one with the parking lot that's way too big for the store itself? Typo. That says the store itself. Yeah, that one. I'm 24, fairly tall, and have a rather scraggly appearance. You probably wouldn't recognize me if I came up to talk to you. I don't really have a memorable face. I don't really know why I'm telling you this all, to be honest, but this isn't the point of me writing you. I was working late at night yesterday. It was a very average day for the most part. Nothing too exciting happened, but you'd be surprised how interesting this job can get at times. I'd be reading some book the guy that worked the counter the shift before me had left. It was some really crappy murder mystery, chock full of cliches. Of course, you were reading a murder mystery. Incredibly boring, if you ask me, but it's something to do, I guess. When you showed up, though, my whole night changed. I don't know exactly what it was about you that caught my attention at first, but as soon as I saw you, I got this odd feeling. A weird mix between excitement and terror. That's the best way I can describe it, at least. I saw you walk into my line and I quickly composed myself. I'd been slouching down in my chair for a while since I rarely ever get anyone in my line. It was only when you got closer that I realized what about you had caught my attention. You are absolutely beautiful. You walked up and said, "Hey," and handed me your cart. Typo there, hey isn't capitalized. I could tell by the way you were talking and the way you looked that you were very sleep deprived, though this wasn't surprising considering how late it was. After a second or two of awkward silence, I realized that you'd greeted me, and I suddenly forced out a hi in response. I cursed myself out mentally for that one. Real cringe, dude. I sat there for a second, trying to focus. "What's your name?" I said. You should have wrote, "I asked." It's only later I realize how odd this must have seemed. What kind of grocery bag guy asks what someone's name is? I feel like that's a fairly normal thing. I don't know. The people at 7-Eleven know my name because I'm in there all the time buying energy drinks, but whatever, I guess. I don't know. I'm glad I did, though. I remember you. You said your name was Abigail. Well, obviously you fucking remember, no shit. But that you go by Abby for short. Abby. It seemed to fit so perfectly. The name seemed to roll off my tongue as I said it back to myself silently. It was like sweet honey. It felt good as I said it. You seemed to be perplexed when I looked back at you, and I wondered if I'd done something to upset you. "Shouldn't you be packing those?" you said, and pointed back to your groceries. You weren't fucking packing her groceries? What are you doing? Suddenly shocked and embarrassed, I looked up and apologized, then clumsily started shoving groceries into bags as fast as I could. Oh, you're fucking bad at your job, dude. I couldn't believe myself. How stupid could I be? But when I looked up, I realized you were laughing. Weird indentation here, but line skip. You're kind of cute, you said. I tried to play it off cool, but I was obviously thrilled. A girl like this thought I was cute? You are too, I said, as I hastily packed the rest of your groceries. I thought you were fucking done. Why are you taking so long? Pack my fucking groceries. As you walked out, you turned around, and as you reached the door, you said, have a good night. I feel like that's pretty fucking normal. I'm guessing I look pretty stupid writing all this down. She can't fucking see you writing this down. Also, you should indent this. Why is... This is a different subject. This is a different paragraph. Whatever. I'm guessing I still look pretty stupid writing all this down. You probably still remember it. I mean, it did just happen yesterday. But I went home ecstatic that night, and with all the confidence in the world. I feel like it's almost unreal writing it back here. Back where? Anyways, I wanted to write you this letter, Abby, to tell you that I love you. I don't know what it was I felt that night. It was some weird mix-up of emotions, but all I know was that even in that small transaction we had, I felt as though there was something between us. Please, write me back soon. How the fuck is she getting this letter? I would love to know how the fuck she's getting this letter. What? Dear Abby. So this is a new one, okay? New little guy. It's been a week since I sent my last letter, and I still haven't gotten a response. But that doesn't matter. How have you been? My life's been just as normal as usual. Get up, go to work, go to bed. I live in a really shitty apartment, but I guess that's what you get when you work as a grocery bagger. Yeah. I mean, you live in a different time. I can't even fucking afford that, and I'm not a grocery bagger. I work in a fucking factory, and I can't fucking get anything. Damn, you're lucky. You're lucky. You're a lucky man, Jay. I've thought about you a lot lately, and I sometimes wonder if you still remember me. I saw you again today at work. This time, it was at a more reasonable hour, thankfully. Great, she's getting sleep. I didn't want to bother you to see if you'd approach me on your own. You came in my line again, which made me absolutely thrilled. This time, I was less nervous. I was going to act normal no matter what you did or said. I wasn't going to let a girl like you slip through my fingers. As you walked up, you muttered something that was too quiet for me to make out, and waited at the end of the counter for me to finish packing your groceries. This obviously wasn't what I had expected, but it wasn't all too bad. You didn't seem to feel anything at all, actually. I was expecting you to either come up and talk to me or avoid me like the plague, but instead you just walked on through as if I was another stranger. 'Cause you fucking are, dude! You fucking are! She's been here twice, okay? You had a friendly interaction, don't be fucking weird. This makes me wonder if you got my last letter. You should check your mailbox more often. So, why didn't... You should have made that so much more clear. So I guess he's dropping these off in her mailbox? How does she know? How does he know where she lives? Hold up. How does she... What? Okay. There was one moment where I felt something, though. I looked over briefly to see what you were doing, and at the same time, you seemed to look up at me. And right then, our eyes locked. That's the wrong R. That's A-R-E, not O-U-R. Only for a second or two, but in those 2 seconds, I saw so much more in you than I had seen last time. I felt as if I had known you for years, like I knew all of your intricate feelings and emotions. Did you feel anything like that with me? Shortly after I'd finished packing your bags, you paid and walked out. Obviously, this was a pretty normal process for me considering I do it about 50 times every day, but I had been determined to, since the night I wrote your letter, that the next time I saw you, you were going to get more out of it. You only do it 50 times a day? I mean, you said your shit was small, but I didn't think... Only 50? Oh, okay. You're bad at your job. You're very bad at your job. Jay. You were terrible. I kind of screwed that one up. I wasn't satisfied with it. I had to have more. There's a little room in the very back left corner of the grocery store designated for staff. In there, I knew they kept all the security footage from that day. All staff are informed of this and the security camera's locations when they're hired. Luckily for me, there's one positioned right next to my counter. It's kind of weird. Does it like point straight at you? I waited until the store closed up and everybody left. And then I went in. After flipping through a few of the TV screens, I found the one that connected to the camera by my counter. I rewinded it. I feel like it should be rewound. I rewound it. See, rewinded just seems so weird. Is that proper English? Is it rewinded or rewound? I'm going to say rewound. I rewound it until about when I remember you coming in. After a few minutes of scanning, I'd found it. I paused on the best still shot I could find. I knew the camera wouldn't do you justice, but it was just the best I could have for now. Having a longer look at you until I realized how truly perfect you were. Every feature of your body, your hair, your face, your legs, your chest was just perfection. Okay, dude, you've met twice. You are fucking weird. I rewound the tape to when you'd first come up to my line a few times. I couldn't help myself. My eyes were glued to the screen. After a few minutes of consideration, I popped out the tape and shoved it in my pocket. You're taking it home? Why are you taking it? I knew I wasn't allowed to. I could very well be fired for taking such actions. Yeah, as you should be. This is weird. But I couldn't help myself. I had to have you with me. I had to have you with me at all times, even if it means me losing my job. Abby, I love you. I love everything about you. I think about you constantly now. Do you feel the same way about me, Abby? I just want us to be together forever. Right back soon. Yours truly, Jay. How do you know where she lives? That's what I'm hung up. How do you know? You haven't explained this. I don't know how you know where she lives. I don't know that you know. You should have explained it by now. It can't just be a random, thing in the back. Are you just, what? Are you following her home and you're just not telling us about it? Because that doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Dear Abby, it's been 3 days and I still haven't gotten a reply. Why don't you want to talk to me? I'm still unsure if you got my last 2 letters. Please tell me if you have. So I got fired from my job. They found the missing tape. No fucking shit, dude. No fucking shit. I got a call from the store owner, my boss, at 6 a.m. on Monday and was told to come in immediately. They were having a mandatory all-staff meeting. When I got there, all of the staff was gathered around a small table with the owner at the head of it. Once everyone had arrived, he told us that apparently there had been a minor robbery yesterday. They'd had about $200 worth of stuff taken from them. And the one tape that would have shown who was the culprit was the one I had taken. Just my luck. Oh. Did she steal it and you were too hung up on the fact that she was so beautiful and you were being so creepy that you just had to have it and you bagged all her shit? That feels like what's going on here. Okay, I might have just spoiled it for myself. Just my luck. He told us that no one was going to leave the room until someone confessed. After a few minutes, I finally gave in. I told him everything, about how I felt as if you and me had some kind of connection. After explaining the whole story, the entire room was staring wide-eyed at me. After I finished, you already finished, I sat there in silence for several seconds. Suddenly the store owner broke the tension. Jay, you're fired. Get out of here now and don't come back, he said. Yeah, dude, you're fucking creepy. You're fucking creepy, and now everybody knows. What? I did as I was told and got out of there as fast as I could. That stupid prick. He'd always treated me like shit. He's the stupid prick? He's been on my case since the day I got that job. I swear, he's just been waiting for me to do the one little thing that could justify firing me. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you're just fucking weird. And the one time I slip up, he finds out. Why didn't he understand, though? Because you're being fucking creepy. Doesn't he get that you and I are meant for each other? Any rational man would have understood. Anyone put in my situation would have done that, right? No! 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 I've been searching you up a lot lately. With no job, I have all the time in the world to spend learning about you. Do you know how much you can find out from someone with just the first name and a town residence? I found out that your last name's Marot. What a beautiful name, Abby Marot. I can't help but say it aloud whenever I think of you. I also found out you're 24, and you only live a mile away from me. I drove down to your apartment complex today. It looks nice. Much nicer than where I live. What? But if you're leaving them in her mailbox, wouldn't you have already known where she lived? What is this plot hole? This doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Like, literally no sense. No sense whatsoever. What do you mean I drove down for the first time? No, you should have already known. What? I asked to see you multiple times, but I was told that you weren't there every time. I felt more and more discouraged every time, but I was determined to see you again. After a few hours of asking, I decided to stay back in the parking lot while waiting for you to come back, and after many hours of waiting, you did. It was late at night, around 10 I believe. I saw you pull up in your car and get out. I felt a sudden rush of warmth at seeing your face again. I know I have the security camera taped to look at it, but it doesn't compare to seeing you in real life. I made sure to record it for later when I was at home, this time with a much higher quality camera. I wanted to capture as much detail as possible. I didn't know the next time I would see you, and the security tape wasn't enough for me anymore. Okay, so you're just like sitting in your car fucking. Okay, whatever. I asked the woman at the front desk multiple times what your room number was, but she refused to tell me. She thought I was some sort of creep, because you are. See, Abby, these people don't understand us. They don't understand what we feel for each other. She doesn't feel fucking shit for you, dude. I ended up waiting in the parking lot a little longer until someone came out. After talking to him for a bit, he told me what your apartment number was. He didn't want to talk at first, but I made him. You'd be surprised what you can make people tell when you're holding a knife to their chest. Girl! Okay. Don't worry, I didn't hurt him too bad. But we can't have someone interfering with us. Don't you agree, Abby? I'm sick of all these people trying to keep us apart. I ended up watching you from the parking lot for a while. Once I found out your room number and how the rooms in this complex were organized, it wasn't hard to locate it. You should be more careful about shutting your blinds, you know. I was easily able to watch you from the parking lot, so you should have already known where her room was. You can pretty easily figure that out, I feel like. But I don't know, like, I'm not trying to sound creepy here, but, like, you're looking at an apartment building, you can pretty easily tell, like, where stuff is. If you find the stairs and then you, like, figure out where the stairs are from the outside, you can pretty easily figure out where things are. I'm not being fucking, like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. I can't get you out of my head anymore, ever. All I do is watch that video I took of you over and over. Abby, I want to be with you forever. I want to wake up in the morning to see you next to me in bed. I cannot wait until the next time I see you again. Love, Jay. Dear Abby, I have some really exciting news, Abby. I'm moving in with you. Aren't you excited? We can what? How is this happening? How is this happening? We can spend hours and hours and hours together. It'll be just perfect. Let me explain. My job paid just enough so I can make rent and pay for food every week. Because of this, I had little to no money in savings, nowhere near enough to last a very long time. When you take that money flow away, why is it worded like that? It should be flow of money, not money flow. Why did you word it like that? I don't know. When you take that money flow away, it doesn't take very much time until you have nothing left. I was able to get by for a few days, but just today I got evicted. What do you mean you were able to make it last for just a few days? You made it sound like you had a ton of time between when you got fired and when you wrote the last letter. What is happening? What? This could actually be better than I had originally thought. I wouldn't be surprised if that guy that gave me your room number has been able to contact the police by now. This way, they won't be able to find me, and we get to spend all the time in the world together. It's perfect, isn't it? I made sure to bring all my tapes and photos I've taken with me, though, and my cameras, of course. You should really tell who's ever managing your apartment complex to get better staff. I was able to get by security easily. I went up to your room and knocked on the door, but I got no answer, so I decided to get in by other means. What? After scanning the footage I took from last night over a few times, I noticed that you have a ventilation shaft in the corner of your room. How did you get inside already? How did you get inside already? How? What? What? How'd you get inside? Are you recording through the windows? What floor is she on? What? I thought you went... What? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. So either he went up to the apartment already and was, like, inside because he has this video, apparently, or he's, like, recording you through a window? But then why would you need to know the apartment number? Like, why would... What? Okay. I'm overanalyzing this. Not surprising, considering how hot it can get here in the summer. I figured there had to be some kind of maintenance hatch that I could get in through. After a few minutes of looking around, I found a door at the end of your hall that seemed to be some kind of staff room, and luckily there was a way into the vents from there. I crawled through them until I got into your room. It was very cramped and hard to move around in, but I managed. When I got there, though, I felt a rush of success. I figured since the lights were out and I couldn't see you that you weren't home, but I'm being patient. I scanned every part of your room, trying to memorize all the intricate details. Your scent overwhelmed me as I sat there. I had caught it briefly during the 2 times I saw you at the store, but never this strong. It was mesmerizing. I couldn't quite place my finger on it, but it reminded me of something. It was almost like peaches. I sat there, hunched over for a few hours, though I've taught myself to be extremely patient. What? I can sit completely motionless for hours at a time, not moving a muscle. No one was going to notice me. Then, you finally got home. I felt a wide smile form on my face the second I heard the door open. There you were, my love. Of course, you took no notice of my presence. Wait, if you've seen her, why are you still writing the letters? You don't need to write the letters anymore. What? Of course, you took no notice to my presence. The light in your room seemed to be angled perfectly, so you couldn't see anything in the vent after the... Oh, you're in the... Okay. I tried to contain my excitement, but I started breathing very heavily. I tried to cover it up as best as I could, but it was hard. You suddenly looked right at the vent. I went completely silent. After a few seconds, though, you seemed to lose interest. This made me smile. This was the perfect spot. I could tell I had startled you, though. All throughout the night, you were turning over in your sleep to look at the vent. People seem to have a lot of sense when they're being watched. It can send them into a complete panic. Don't try to fake it, Abby. I can tell when someone's awake, when they're truly scared. Sleep becomes impossible. Why are you scared anyways? It's just me. Why would I scare you? You do love me, right? You know I love you. I'm looking forward to spending every day with you now, Abby. Write back if you can. Why are you still writing the letter? Why are you still writing the letter? Dear Abby, I saw you wake up this morning. I didn't sleep a wink last night. You were too enthralling. I spent the whole night watching you. I couldn't help it. ... Anytime I tried to look away, my eyes seemed to be drawn back a few seconds later. You look even more amazing when you're sleeping, you know? You'd be surprised how much you can learn about a person's personality by watching them sleep. I was tempted to get out of the vent to get a better view of you. Multiple times in the night, but I resisted the urge. I couldn't have you figuring out I'm here. Not yet, at least. So why... What? Girl. What? You seem to spend a lot of time in your bathroom in the morning. I assumed you were taking a shower or putting on makeup. Why would you do that, Abby? Anything you could do to change the way you naturally look would only cover up your true beauty. Oh, you're a fucking incel, dude. You're a fucking incel. Why would you want to do that? Don't you want the whole world to see what I see in you? You left shortly after to work, or at least that's what I assumed. After careful consideration, I decided to leave the vent. I slid my hand through one of the slits and felt around for one of the bolts. The surface of the vent was very smooth, which made them very easy to find. I grabbed onto one and twisted as hard as I could, and finally was able to pop it off. I did this with all the other bolts, and finally removed the grating. The first thing I did was go over to the bathroom. I quickly disposed of everything I could find that you could use to mask your face. That stuff disgusts me. This way, everyone will get to see how you truly are. I also found something else in there, your hairbrush. I grabbed it and brought it up close to my face to examine it. It was a dull blue, with a very thick rounded handle, but that wasn't what interested me, the hairs. That's what made me so interested. I took a good few minutes to pull every one of them I could see out and line them up on your counter. I counted them. I'd gotten 59. That's fucking weird. This pleased me greatly. I quickly scooped them up and put them in my pocket. You're gonna fucking lose them like that. If you're gonna keep them, you might want to like tie them or like tape them to your vent, dude. Like all the little like girls on TikTok who are making like wigs with their husband's hair. Dude, you know, they tape them on the wall. Tape them on the side of your vent. What? You're gonna fucking lose them like that. I spent the rest of the day going through your stuff to learn more about you, your interests and such. No shit. I take it you're a big movie fan, Abby? I found your collection in the back of your closet. I have to say it was quite impressive. I found something else in there that made me mad. A picture of you with another man. It disgusted me just looking at him holding you like he owned you. I'm the only one that you can have, Abby. No one else. At about 8:30, I considered starting to get back into the vent, since that's usually about when you get back from work. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? There's too many, like, gaps between things, and you're not really explaining a whole lot. I don't know how you know. I don't know how you know. I feel like Abby here. I feel like Abby, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Then I had another idea. I looked at your bed. The blankets hung low enough to the floor that you couldn't see underneath the bed unless they were lifted up. First, I screwed the vent grating back on and slowly slid under with a smile on my face and waited for you to get home. When you finally came in, you looked completely pale, and I noticed someone else came in behind you. They were talking to you about hearing noises coming from your room throughout the day. I mentally yelled at myself. I need to be more careful from now on. Going under the bed had been a good idea though, since obviously your first thought was to check the vent. You thanked the person and left. Finally, you and I were alone. I sat there in silence until you went to bed. It seemed to be an eternity before you did. I wanted to get a closer look at you tonight, and this was my chance. You got into bed and turned off the lights. I was cautious though. I waited for hours to make sure you were asleep. And when I was sure you were, I slowly slid out from under the bed. And I saw you there. You looked absolutely stunning. Every curve of your body was perfect. Every detail was beautiful. How do you know that every curve? Like, is she sleeping, like, naked and without a blanket on? Like, that's how you were hiding. How do you know? You didn't just, like, take them off. I know when I sleep and my boyfriend takes the blankets off me, like, I'm up. I'm up and I'm mad. Who the fuck just took the blanket off me? What the fuck? I was in awe just looking at you. I reached out my hand and I started to stroke your face. It was soft like silk. I could feel myself starting to get hard. Your beauty was overwhelming. I slowly reached down and started to pleasure myself. I tried to control myself out of worry of waking you up, but I couldn't help it. I felt pure ecstasy. Everything about you was perfect. This is the hospital scene. Bro just wrote the hospital scene. I didn't do this on purpose. What? What the fuck? Suddenly, you seem to turn and wake up horrified. I quickly slid back under the bed, trying to be as quiet as possible. A few seconds, I saw you get out of bed and look around. I could sense your fear. Even without looking at you, you should feel calm with me around you, Abby. I'll protect you, Abby. No one will ever touch you but me. I'd kill someone for you, Abby. I made sure to pay attention today. You didn't bring in my letter from yesterday or any mail at all. You must just not check your mailbox. I'm going to change that, though. I'm going to leave this one on your desk tomorrow. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm making something special for you. Check in your closet after you read this. Girl! Okay, why are you still writing the letter? Why are you still writing the letter? Why is there another letter if you left this one on the thing? Dear Abby, I spent more time today working on the surprise while you were at work. You're really gonna love it, Abby. I've put a lot of work into it, you know. I spent a few hours today putting the finishing touches on it, and I think it's finally ready for you to see. You got home at about 8:30 again, and saw the letter laying on your desk almost immediately. I started to smile as I saw you open it, waiting to see your reaction. It was really quite interesting watching your face. I could see all your different emotions and thoughts. You seemed to be confused at first, then shocked, then horrified. You started to shake violently, and I saw you were starting to cry. Do you not like me, Abby? Why were you crying? Don't you love me, Abby? Don't you love me, Abby? Everything after this was a blur. You looked over to the closet while still sobbing. You seemed to be contemplating about whether or not to open it. Instead, you ran past it and out the door. When you came back, you had all my letters in your hand and started going through them. At some point, you seemed to break down and curl up on the floor, tears rolling down your face. I could tell you were desperately trying to say something, anything, but you were paralyzed in fear. After about 10 minutes, I saw you look under the bed, in the vent, anywhere I could be. You see, though, Abby, I'm smarter than that. I knew you'd look in these places. I found a better place after I finished our surprise. You'll never find me here. No one will. Isn't it great? I can watch you forever and ever, and there's nothing you or anyone else can do about it. You hadn't found your surprise yet, though, Abby. And I could tell you were still thinking about it. I saw you look over to your closet, and I knew you wanted to open it, but at the same time, you were nervous. What was it going to be? What would you find? This couldn't last forever, though. You and I both knew that. I watched you slowly walk over to your closet, fumbling with the handle, trying to get a firm grasp on it. Suddenly, you flung the door open and saw it. Where the fuck is this fucker hiding? Where is he hiding? Where could he possibly be hiding that he sees all of this? Is he just, like, outside the window? Is there, like, did he move in next door? Or is he in, like, the neighbor's apartment and he made, like, a peephole and he fucking killed a guy? I mean, he alluded to it. Okay? He alluded to having killed somebody. Maybe he made, like, a fucking peephole in, like, the perfect spot. I don't know. I wish it explained more. It was a scrapbook of me and you. I saw you flipping through the pages. You seemed to be shocked. Do you not like it, Abby? I got pictures of you when you weren't looking. Pictures of you sleeping. Pictures of you at your computer. When did you get those? I had scattered the hairs I had collected throughout it, along with the pictures of couples together, of course, with our faces on them, though. I got the picture of you with that other guy and put it at the very back. Except I didn't leave it like it normally was. I scratched that little prick's face off. I hate him so much. If I knew who he was, I would hunt him down and make him suffer. Don't you get it, Abby? No one can have you but me. Me and you are meant for each other. No one else. I watched you sob for another 30 minutes and then get up and run out of your apartment. Shortly after, you came back with multiple policemen. Policemen? You should call them police officers. Police officers. This shocked me. Do you not like my surprise, Abby? Why would you bring these people into our room? They'll never... Okay, so he's inside. He's inside. How did he get... Where is he? They'll never find where I am, but if they did, it could ruin everything. All my work from the last few weeks could be for nothing. You wouldn't want that, right, Abby? I'm exhausted from today's work. As much as I love you, I need sleep, Abby. Have a good night. I love you. Love, Jay. Dear Abby, Do you see what you've done, Abby? Do you see what you've done? I woke up at 8 a.m. to see you frantically packing your bags. I was confused at first, but then I understood. You were leaving me. You don't love me. You don't love me. How could you do this to me, Abby? You were the only thing I wanted in life. I had nothing else to live for. But when I first met you, I saw a shimmer of hope. I thought that I had finally had a reason to wake up in the morning and go on with my shitty life. And you went and threw that away. How could you do this to me, Abby? A few seconds after you left your room, I got out of my hiding spot and followed behind you. I saw you throw your bags in the back and then get in your car and start it. I wasn't going to let you get away though, Abby. I would never let that happen. I ran as fast as I could to your car and smashed out the window and dragged you out. Then why are you writing this letter? She knows what the fuck happened. She knows what happened. You did it to her. Did you really think you could get away from me, Abby? I had hit you over the head to knock you out. You were making too much noise. Someone else, someone that doesn't understand, could have ruined everything. Well, I had planned for if you reacted like this. I drove out to the storage unit at the edge of town. I had reserved a slot that day, and I decided to move in with you. What? You just said you were gonna move into the apartment. Why? What? Oh, okay. Whatever. I drove up and unlocked it. I grabbed you and carried you inside with me. It had only been a few minutes, so you were still unconscious, so I'm assuming she already lived on the edge of town then? If it was only a few minutes, small town, I guess. Okay. I made sure to check through your pockets to make sure you didn't have your phone with you. I set you down at the very back of the small room, then I got in and lowered the door. I called the owner of the storage unit and told him I had visited my lot the other day and forgotten to lock it. I asked him if he would mind locking it for me. Of course, he said yes, and I hung up. I then threw the phone on the ground and stomped on it to make sure that it'd never work again. Shortly later, I heard the door owner come up and lock the door. Okay, well, that's not how phone works. The ping will still say, like, I assume, at least, from all the cop shows, the ping should show up, but whatever. About an hour later, I saw you start to get up. I first heard a very faint grunt, and I saw your legs start to move. Shortly after you were fully awake, when you saw my face, you started to scream, which then subsided to a whine and then to a whimper. That's when you saw it. The other thing in the room. My knife. Wait. So how did the guy not hear that? Because, like, I would imagine if, he got down there so fast to, like, lock the door, he would be relatively close by. How did he not hear her scream? Okay. Whatever. It was obvious why it was there, and after a second or two of realization, you jumped and grabbed it. I looked you dead in the eyes and said, "Abby, I love you." And then I felt the searing pain of the knife being driven into my side. I felt it being pulled out and jabbed back in with great force. I could feel it go in each time, like a fire burning a hole through my chest. I fell to the floor, laughing while coughing up blood. I saw you back away, trembling, and sit back down in the corner. And now, I sit here in a puddle of my own blood, writing this. How? If you were stabbed in the side, you would be... No, you're in the chest, sorry. Not the side, the chest. No, it does say the side, but it also says the chest. How are you writing this? I don't think you could live through that. What if she got your fucking organs? I imagine she fucking got your organs. What the fuck? And now, as I sit here in a puddle of my own blood writing this, I wonder how you'll get out. Will you use the knife to take your own life? Or will you let starvation take you? Either way, we'll be together in death, Abby. Together from the day I saw you till the day we both died, just as I wanted it. And as you sit there crying, I can tell you've come to this realization. Abby, this is all I ever wanted. And for that, I have to say thank you. Why didn't you just fucking tell her? Why didn't you just fucking tell her that? You're in the same room. If you're still alive, why aren't you using the time you have before you fucking die to tell her these things. You have literally said, like, all of, like, 3 things to her. And it was at the beginning. You finally are alone with her. And you're not even talking to her? You jerked off to her in her sleep. What? And you're still not gonna talk? I am Skeleton and I wrote this. The comments. Next season on Storage Wars. That's crazy. Why such a low rating? A very good story. Some grammar, sentences, and structure issues, but it had a compelling story arc. Creepy enough to be a good read. No, not a good read at all. In the end, Jay expects Abby to die with him in the storage unit, but couldn't she just bang on the door until someone hears her? Like, I'm pretty sure the storage unit companies have security. Even if there wasn't a security guard patrolling, it would only be a matter of days. Yeah. I know this is late to answer. It's like 3 years later. But this piece was written in first-person narrative, and he is also an unreliable narrator. She probably became free. I would guess so. How was he mailing the letters to her before that's my question exactly. What is the reply? The reply is, I literally found this webpage just to scroll the comments and see if anyone would explain this. What the fuck? Yeah! This is very well written and I enjoy it. One thing I don't understand is how the hell is this because it's bad. It's not good. It doesn't make any sense. What? It doesn't make any sense. It's not like the worst thing because crappypasta.com takes down a lot of the like super fucking bad ones. That's why like Troll Pasta Wiki exists. But it's not good. Are you going to doubt 2,071 votes that put it down at 1.23 out of 10? Because I won't. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how all these people are like, no, it's not. It's literally not. It's literally fucking not. This is not what I needed with my eggs and bacon. Why do stalker? Think it's mutual feelings. 3 out of 10. Not even scary, just psycho stalker. I think the author was trying to get the lowest rating story on the website. I don't know, but maybe. This is just a very long H. That's annoying. The reply is, wow. The lyrics of Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls become really, really creepy after reading this. How? What are the lyrics to Iris? Goo Goo Doll. Oh. I guess a little bit, but you can apply that to any stalker story. You can apply the lyrics of Iris to any stalker story. You can. That's not a... Like, don't put that on this story, of all things. Put it on, like, H. Or, no, fucking H. You. Why are people saying this keeps them up at night? This comment is from 2013, so, like, I don't know. But it's not that good. What? One of these comments reads, I loved his so much. I don't know why, but I've always wanted something like this to happen to me. I guess I just wanted to feel pretty, but anyways, this is like the best creepypasta. No! No, you don't! No, you don't! You don't! You don't! You don't! You don't! You just don't! You don't! You don't want this! What?